From ancient times, one name has echoed through the pages of history whenever extreme wealth, pride, and destruction are mentioned: Qaroon, also known in biblical tradition as Korah. But who exactly was he? How did he acquire unimaginable riches? And what became of his legendary treasure after his sudden and terrifying end? These questions have puzzled historians, researchers, and believers for centuries. Today, we explore the authentic Islamic account of Qaroon, a story filled with power, deception, divine warnings, and an end that shook an entire nation. Let us begin with the most fundamental question: who was Qaroon? According to Islamic tradition, Qaroon belonged to the tribe of Bani Israel, the same community to which Prophet Musa, AS, belonged. The Quran states clearly, "Indeed, Qaroon was from the people of Musa, yet he behaved arrogantly toward them." Surah Al-Qasas. Many early scholars mention that Qaroon was even a close relative of Musa. Some narrations say he was Musa's cousin, connected through the lineage of Levi, the son of Prophet Yaqub, AS. In the early part of his life, Qaroon was known for his devotion, worship, and command of Scripture. Some reports suggest he had a beautiful recitation of the Torah, earning him the title Al-Munawwar, the Illuminated One. But as time passed, something shifted. The devotion weakened, worldly desires grew stronger, and arrogance slowly took control of his heart. How Qaroon became wealthy. The exact source of Qaroon's wealth is not historically confirmed, but Islamic tradition mentions several possibilities. Some reports say he was a skilled merchant, sharp in business, and able to profit where others could not. Another belief circulating at the time was that Qaroon possessed secret knowledge of alchemy, the alleged ability to transform base metals into gold. Although not supported by authentic scripture, this rumor spread widely among the people. However, the strongest and most accepted view among scholars is simpler. Qaroon controlled the gold mines and extraction techniques of his era. He had access to natural resources in ways others didn't. In a time where gold symbolized absolute power, Qaroon became the wealthiest man alive. So immense was his fortune that the keys to his treasure vaults could only be carried by a group of strong men. If the keys alone were that heavy, one can only imagine the scale of the treasure behind those locked doors. Arrogance and rebellion. As wealth flooded into Qaroon's hands, humility abandoned him. He became proud, boastful, and dismissive of divine guidance. He wore extravagant clothes embroidered with gold, built luxurious halls, and walked with a sense of superiority. When Allah commanded the giving of zakat, Prophet Musa relayed the order to his people. Most accepted it gladly, except Qaroon. His heart was too attached to his wealth. Qaroon complained, "Why should I give from my property? This wealth is mine. I earned it through my knowledge." The Quran mentions this moment when Qaroon rejected divine guidance, claiming ownership of blessings that were never truly his. A plot against Musa, AS. Unable to escape the obligation of zakat entirely, Qaroon devised a dangerous plan. He gathered his loyal followers and proposed hiring a woman to falsely accuse Musa of immoral behavior. The goal was to destroy Musa's reputation so that people would turn away from him. The woman was bribed with gold and instructed to stand before the people and accuse the prophet of wrongdoing. But when she was brought before Musa and asked to speak under oath, fear gripped her heart. She confessed the truth. Qaroon had paid her to lie against the prophet of Allah. The crowds were shocked. The humiliation Qaroon intended for Musa fell upon himself. Qaroon's final arrogance. But the story did not end there. One day, Qaroon marched before the people in a grand procession, surrounded by wealth and guarded by chests of treasure keys. His display dazzled the weak-hearted, and some wished they possessed what he had. They said, "Indeed, he is truly fortunate." Prophet Musa, seeing their hearts sway, reminded them, "The reward of Allah is better for those who believe and remain steadfast." But Qaroon's arrogance only grew. He challenged Musa openly, If you are truly a prophet, pray against me and I will pray against you. Let us see whose supplication is accepted." Musa warned him multiple times, but Qaroon persisted. A divine decree. Finally, Musa as raised his hands and prayed for justice, and Allah responded instantly. Musa commanded the earth by Allah's permission, "O earth, swallow him." The ground beneath Qaroon trembled and split. It pulled him to his knees. He screamed. He grasped at the earth, trying to hold on, but the command continued. "Take him further." The ground swallowed him to his waist, then his chest, then his neck. Qaroon pleaded, but the decree of Allah had been passed. Finally, Musa said, "Take his wealth as well." The earth consumed everything: Qaroon, his palaces, his treasures, and the keys carried by dozens of men. The Quran states, "Then we caused the earth to swallow him and his home, and he had no helpers to save him from Allah." Surah Al-Qasas. Those who once admired him now realize the truth. Had Allah not been merciful to us, we too would have been swallowed. Qaroon became a symbol of warning for all future generations, a reminder that arrogance and unchecked pride lead to destruction. Where is Qaroon's treasure today? For centuries, explorers have searched for the lost treasure of Qaroon, but nothing has ever been discovered. Some believed his palace lay near Lake Qaroon in Egypt. Others associated it with ancient temples or ruins in Iraq. But archaeologists eventually confirmed that these locations had no connection to Qaroon mentioned in the Quran. In reality, the true resting place of Qaroon's treasure remains unknown, buried somewhere in the earth, hidden by the command of Allah, and unreachable by humans. A final lesson. Qaroon's story is preserved in the Quran not as legend, but as guidance. It teaches that wealth is a blessing only when used with humility. It warns that arrogance toward Allah leads to humiliation, and it reminds believers that no treasure, no palace, and no kingdom can protect a person from the decree of God. Qaroon rose with pride, lived with greed, and was swallowed by the very earth he walked upon. His story remains one of the greatest lessons in Islamic history, a lesson that stands firm across every age.